What in the heck is going to happen when Season 1 launches in Apex Legends? I mean, what will it bring? Will I be completely reinvigorated? Will I find that I love this game even more? Will it be unimpressive? Will I get a little scared for the future of the game? All of these things are thoughts going through players' minds, especially as they feel in Reddit or in some of these other places on Twitter that Apex Legends Season 1 is launching sooner than we think, maybe even this week. Now, I'm not here to speculate on that. You guys know how I feel about leaks and trying to do stuff like that because I want to respect the designer's process, their brand, their balancing conversations that they're having internally before they bring it out to the public, because then that becomes marketing. Then that becomes something that should be strategically planned for optimal retention and success by them. But today we're going to talk about my 5 expectations and hopes of Apex Legends Season 1. And I hopefully, because I've been a part and I'm currently a part of that, seeing the back end of design at video game companies, also the front end of being a player and doing a YouTube channel, and also an esports caster and looking at towards what can the high level play keep continuing to add to it. All of these things are going to be a part of my list, and I want to hear what your list is too. So before we even start, make sure you list in the comment section one of the things you're looking forward to in Season 1. We'll see if they align with my list, and of course afterwards or during any point, feel free to pause the video, type in, and see if I catch up with you towards the end of it. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Let's get into it now. Don't want to waste any more time than we need to. Let's start talking about Season 1 expectations. Now, the first thing for me in Season 1 that I'm hoping they do is add new legends that give diversity to the current playing experience. Now, it seems pretty obvious, but what I mean by that is I don't just want somebody who has a passive of being able to run faster, or being able to heal better, or being able to, see more people. I think it's just kind of... It's really effective. We know statistically, Bangalore and Lifeline and Bloodhound, they win. They do. They win more than the bigger hitbox characters, but they also have a little bit more straightforward and mechanically, statistically just good passives. Think about it. Bangalore, she just runs faster as her passive. Lifeline, she just heals faster and shields faster as her passive. All of these things. Bloodhound can just see where his enemies are going, for crying out loud. These are all just good things in a BR. An aim down sight shield from Gibraltar, being able to see through your own toxic gas, which isn't even that good in the first place, need to get buffed. Being able to tell what the next circle is. I could see how they were trying to be innovative, and I love Pathfinder, Gibraltar, and Caustic, but they win less, and people know it now. And I hope that while they address the hitbox situation, they aren't afraid to put out bigger characters, because I think that's great to give variety, but I hope they also aren't afraid to do things that are different. Not just give me oh man, he gets a healing stem while moving faster, and he can also get 5% damage on longbow shots. You know what I mean? If he's using a sniper, he gets all I think that's fun, but I don't want to see that, because the part of the charm of this game is the diversity of the cast. If you can continue to add that in your legends, I think this game is set. But these first few are going to set a precedent that I feel are going to be very important for the direction of the game. Remember, this is the design part. In our games, champions take about 6 months from concept to actually on the table, being available for everyone to play. So imagine that every single legend you're going to see for the next 4 or 5 months was made half a year ago. Okay, they've been in process. So the legends we talk about now and want now, and the feedback we're giving is going to impact stuff towards the end of the year. Just want to set that up. Let's move on. You guys understand. Let me know what you think about the legends coming out. What would you like to see as far as diversity to keep it fresh and to not just be too monotonous or kind of the same experience when they show up? The second thing I want to talk about are hop-ups. Hop-ups, I think, are super cool in this game, and in fact, they're one of the favorite aspects of guns, in my opinion. The ability to take a weapon, but then make that weapon a different weapon, or to be kind of lucky and get the thing that makes this weapon kind of good to OP, like the turbocharger on the Devotion, or the select fire on the Prowler. I feel like these are the moments that I really remember most. This is when I feel like, oh baby, it's about to be a fun game. Just got a turbocharger Devotion, I found that energy ammo, I just got the Prowler select fire, oh my god, bro, I just got that shotgun bowl for the Mozambique. I'm going in. All right, nobody says that, but the goal is it gives you that extra level of variety, and adding new hop-ups to me sounds like a very exciting thing. What if you could add a hop-up that takes something that is usually not able to, I don't know, I'm literally thinking off the top of my head. So let's see, maybe there's a hop-up that allows you to rocket jump, right? Maybe it turns your shots into more of like a grenade kind of shot, right? I don't know what weapon it would be for, but imagine being able to shoot more of like a lasered shot, and then, okay, never mind, this is like an AoE blast. It's a lot slower, but it's a lot more impactful. Or maybe like in our game, we have Drogos, who's a flying champion, or Pharah in Overwatch, right? Maybe they introduce a rocket launcher, and there's a hop up that means, you can obviously, this is basically a select fire, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, anyways, I'm bad at thinking of hop ups on the spot, but you guys know know what I'm talking about, and you're smarter than me. So go ahead and leave me a comment what kind of hop-ups you'd like to see that would change the pace of Apex Legends and add a little variety. It's a great way to keep things fresh too, because you don't have to add a new weapon. If you add a new hop-up that applies to 3-4 different weapons and makes them new, then you can save all the icky balancing issues of a brand new weapon, and you know how that weapon will perform. You just are changing it a little bit, and with a lot more variance than, oh man, it's just a wingman, and if it exists, it's going to dominate. We're going to need to nerf it. Okay, so that was hop-ups. Wish I could have come up with a great example. If I think of something during the video, I'll bring it back to you. All right. The next thing I'm really interested in, there have been some leaks and talks about data mine wise, but the next thing I'm hoping for in Season 1 is they raise the skill ceiling in some factor. Now, the most common and the most data mined thing, and I'm not going to say that this is true at all, I'm just saying wall running. Wall running as existed in Titanfall, and this is something that people were surprised didn't exist in Apex Legends, but you would assume, you know, is a potential for them to add in the future. Whether they add it or not, I think the idea of adding something that changes movement, that adds a value to a player who, I've already learned everything. You know, you see Shroud and Skadoodle and C9 or J9, and they're playing and they just win every game, and it's like they're bored. Like, I wish I could be like that with my buddies, but at the end of the day, if you're so good at this game and you're going to be the esports representative, if you're going to be streaming it, talking about it, giving your opinions, we want those players to continue to feel challenged, and the way to do that is to add something that isn't really dangerous for everyone, right? But it's really good for those players who have already min-maxed their general movement and can add another layer of difficulty. Chances are they would have already won that fight, but for them to feel that they've mastered it, it will make their experience better and give them something else to do. In that being said, I also think that they need to add something that helps other players get a little bit more into the game. I think Gibraltar, it was meant to be like a beginner character, but if he's winning less, it means new players are coming into the game, losing more often than not, and then what happens is that kind of hurts your retention. So Apex is typically a harder game to get into. I'd like to see something given to newer players as well to keep them engaged, even if it's a fun little weapon, if it's a feels good moment on the map where, you know, let's not add the Thanos sword, but think of something that's balanced like that, where, oh, I got this, I could have this really cool moment, I can kill a guy, I may not down the whole team, but man, I use this one shot of this really cool weapon I found, and now I really like Apex Legends because I had that awesome moment. You know, that's something you have to think as a design team. How do we keep our high school players good and not alienate our newer players who are still learning and give them something to remember to come back to? Moving on into the fourth thing, I'm trying to keep the pace up for you guys because I know this is very conversational and topical, and I want it to be really valuable for while you're watching. The next thing I wanted to talk about was map innovation. When are we going to see some new aspects of the map change? Now, I know it's still an early game, but games nowadays are different. They're held to a different standard. We all know that with the Anthem drama. We all know that with Apex Legends, people playing 150 hours to 200, 300, 400 hours, having 5,000 kills and saying, I'm bored already. Well, dude, I mean, I saw this great post. It's like, if you're already max level and it's been a month, you might be playing too much. Like, this game may not have been intended for that to occur. Whether you believe it or not every game will last forever. In fact, nearly no game will last forever. So what do we do to keep things fresh? I think that Apex Legends adjusting a little piece of the map, like maybe the pit, making the pit have a little bit more to it. Maybe it's not an open circle. Maybe they add something in the middle. Maybe there's something that's very high priority in there that you know you can grab. Maybe it's a guaranteed kind of just, you know, obstacle, right? Maybe it's a moving trap. Maybe there are things that, aside from waterfalls, can kill you on the map that make fighting there just a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. These are things I'd like to see adjusted, whether it's adjusting a current map area, whether it's adding another area in the map as well. I think this adds a lot of fun for players, and again, is a high-level thing, but also a low-level fun thing that people can engage. Not too much, but think about it. Maybe there's even an interactable. Maybe there's, you know, we have this this great idea, and I love how they did it in Royale. There's like a loot goblin that walks around, and you can shoot it, and you could actually just get loot from it if you kill it, and it's just random, and it's an NPC, and it's like not fighting you back, but it's fun. Then you get some good loot. I like that. I like the encouragement of that in the game. Let me know what you guys think, especially about the map stuff down below. The last thing I wanted to talk about were cinematics and lore. Now, the big thing about cinematics is that they're very expensive. Like you guys know, with the champions that I just talked about, it takes a long time to get them from concept to into production to fully finished and ready to release. And the other thing is with cinematics, they also take very long. There's a lot of concepting. There's a lot of direction. I mean, take a look at League of Legends and KDA, Rise, you know, look at Awaken. All of these are so in depth. And you could even rent out another company to do the projects, but it still doesn't mean you're not going to have tons of notes. You're going to have tons of details to work out. So the goal is I would like to see 3 of these released this year. Part of the thing that hooked me on Apex when I first saw the trailer was the cool nature of how these players and these legends, were interacting with one another. It was fun. It was fresh. It felt modern. It didn't feel like they were trying to be too over the top, but in the same vein, they were. It felt like they just existed over the top. And I think that if they can capture that and add these things that can help somebody attach to the universe, it will really help in Season 1. I think what Apex Legends is missing right now, to kind of wrap up some of these conversations, is that we need reasons to connect to this game. Obviously, every game comes out and can have a big burst, but what's going to keep people around? And lore and cinematics, as I've found, whether it's in great books like the Mistborn series from Brandon Sanderson, which I just have a buddy starting to read, one of my buddies, Hi-Rez Aggro, over in the Smite side of things, he's reading that now as of my request. I also, me and him connect on the great fantasy series that we're always talking about, whether it be Red Rising, whether it be Way of Kings, Brandon Sanderson, or Robert Jordan back in the day. All of these things help us to truly want to go back and recommend these things because they're a universe that we feel is alive, we feel is real, and we know people need to experience. Cinematics can help you get that feeling. They can help you attach to a character, and ultimately, I think if you add that in Apex Legends, the way that we saw Overwatch do, the way in my game, Smite, Paladins, I think have started to do really, really well. Smite's mythology has already been there, but I think Paladins started to do that a lot more. I think if you could continue that direction, man, I just see so much that this game can offer, especially with the fact that it's a little bit more sci-fi-y. Just so much potential for me in my eyes. That's it, guys. I didn't want to take too much more time talking about this, but I did want to now set the table for a bigger conversation to happen before Season 1 in the comment section below. If you did like this video and you like some of my thoughts, please leave a like. Let me know what you liked and what you would want to see as well that you agree with me on. Also, again, leave a comment if you have anything to say. I read nearly all of my comments, and so I'd love to hear what you guys think about this new season and your expectations for it. If you want to subscribe, helps me to keep doing what I'm doing and lets me know I'm doing the right thing, so consider that. And as always, my friends, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you all next time.